Hello and welcome to this video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If the title caught your eye, then I guess you are just waking up, or you're interested in seeing what those who are just waking up are looking for, right? So when we use this term, waking up, it has gotten hijacked just a little bit, and the mainstream world has kind of turned it into wokeness, and now that's turning into like an extreme definition, right? But this is important to understand that humanity and the way that we perceive and take in new knowledge is it's funky. It's emotional, and for some reason we tend to hear something and pull at an extreme. We jump to a dire conclusion and run with it, basically. And so when I'm saying that wokeness is hijacked by the media and stuff, it's that's kind of what I'm talking about. We pull out all of the extremes and sort of try those on first and complain about how unfitting they really are. But the point in that is identifying extremes to then be able to work in between extremes to seek a harmonious solution, right? A perfect middle ground. And so now that I have seen wokeness take hold and really explode, especially across America where I live, in the last maybe 2 years, I really feel that it's a great time to recognize the swing of things and to see that, okay, yeah, we took it wokeness to the extreme, and you can see that playing out in so many levels and across so many different types of layers and filters in the exterior collective main world, right? So now's the time to pull it back, right? It's hitting its peak, and so now it's going to trough at some point, right? Well, in between there is where we can find a real meanings that could actually serve humanity, or serve the collective and serve yourself in extension, right? And that is why I feel this point in getting to quick and easy, simple, new ways to identify with the terminology that is evolving is going to be super helpful. So if you are in that kind of weird world where you feel like you don't fit into the mainstream and you feel like woke in some aspect, then this is going to be a great place, hopefully, for you to start defining woke for yourself. And when you can get to a place where others' definitions don't hold weight or any concern in your thought process, well, then you're really getting to the place where you're able to step into your own ground and step into your own being and make decisions for yourself. And that's what waking up and initially being woke was meaning, right? It was an understanding that I think for myself that, yeah, I know I'm a part of society. I know I'm a part of a community, a family, all of these levels of social interactions, but I recognize I am myself. I think for myself. I am capable of making my own decisions. I am capable of examining a variety of information across a spectrum of beliefs and ideologies and critically thinking through evidence for myself. I can come up with conclusions of my own choice and of my own liking. And that should be a-okay, accepted, and the norm. And those of us who have been awake for quite some time, we have been waiting and waiting for others to poke their heads up out of the sand and to say, wait a minute, I can think for myself. And so if you are starting to poke your head up out of the sand, then welcome and thank you. And we have been here all along, outside the parameters, building and waiting for all of you to join us. And so don't be afraid and don't be overwhelmed or confused, because the beauty in waking up is self-responsibility, and it's a self-awareness, really, that is super empowering once you can accept it. There are so many parameters and so many constraining social beliefs that sort of will push your head back down into the sand, right? There's sort of, just as there are enlightened, benevolent beings who have had their heads out of the sand for a long time and who have entire structures and communities outside of the collective group, there are also authoritative monitors for that asleep three-dimensional realm that sits under the sand, that everybody's heads are in. Everybody with their heads in the sand are observing and taking part in this other underground world, so to speak, in this metaphor, right? And as soon as you do pop your head up out from the sand, there are just like a hall monitor when you're outside of class, when you're not supposed to be. There are entities who are waiting, who are watching, who, when you exit the classroom and want to walk around for yourself and go to the bathroom or whatever, well, they're going to remind you that you need to go back to class. They're going to remind you how scary the hallway is, and how you could be bullied in the bathroom, and how you only have 10 minutes on your pass, so you better be back, or else detention after class. Threats and scare tactics and mind manipulation. So that initial poking your head out of the sand and waking up can be discouraging for a lot of people. And so if you're in that space, in that weird between the classroom space where something's wrong, not right, something doesn't fit, that you can see the house of cards, so to speak, and you want to get outside, then just know that your emotional vibration is your key to unlocking the doors and going outside. And when you hold a vibration of uncertainty, fear, shame, guilt, anger, hate, all of these lower, hard vibrations or emotions, if you like that word better, they really cement you down into that 3D structuring, and they reaffirm to your soul and to your mind and to your imagination that school is all there is, and it's very real, and it's as easy or as hard as you make it. And also that determines, how ready you are. Because it's so many of us, we spend a lifetime, poke our head out, look around. We don't like what we see, we're scared, we put it back. We poke our head out, we spend longer out. And maybe we see 5 or 6 shiny things that catch our attention and make us think a bit. But that's enough for that lifetime maybe. And we put our head back down in the sand. But while our head's in the sand and we're witnessing this, the parameters of the constructed world, those 5 or 6 little sparkly things you saw up there are in your imagination still. They're working. They're creating ideas. They're making you think in a different way. and preparing you to poke your head up again, and wanting you, inspiring you to do that. Or not, or you forget all about them and you're trapped again, you know? There is infinite possibilities in the realms. And so when you're waking up, it's basically like you're accepting all there is and saying, okay, there are infinite possibilities, and I choose my choices. I control my thought processes. I control my reality and my energetic feeling. I create my life for myself. My personal experience of my world is all there is for me. And so I choose to act consciously. I choose to think rationally. I choose empathy, love, and compassion for myself and for every being who is also on this alive journey, right? And so, yeah, basically when we say woke or waking up, our real original intention was that energetic claiming of your sovereignty. That is what waking up is. A recognition of truth, of who you are. And so I hope this has been helpful in clearing up the difference between waking up and woke, and also how control mechanisms for that lower vibration, under the sand world hijacks new ideas and hope and inspiration, and contorts it and constricts it into something that's fear-based and that will scare you into compliance or back into your comfort zone yet again. And so, yeah, waking up is really about being comfortable, being uncomfortable, right? Taking control of every moment of your present life and knowing that you choose to create your reality all the time. And that to me is what being awake really means. And so I hope you've enjoyed this quick little educational video. I hope you'll check in next time, because I'm going to make similar ones for terms like ascension, sovereignty, consent, infringement, and I think I'll also do a quick video about bridging these terms, racism, sexism, classism, the isms, into constructive alchemizing forces, so to speak. Things that we use contrast and duality to seek a common ground in. And the isms are really the separations into which we can finally find a happy middle ground. And so I'll go into that more deeply next time. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this is enlightening. And I hope if you're triggered by the word woke, or you have a whole different idea of what woke means, I hope that I have given you a slightly different perspective to take into account. So thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope you'll tune in next time.